Welcome to the Power Up Summit. I am so glad that you are here. This is a awesome place to be. See, this summit was created to motivate, encourage, and inspire people to want to live their best life. Hi, I am Happiness Reborn. That's the meaning of my name, Felice Renee. And I want to share with you my number one secret to how individuals, successful people, have their lives transformed to walking in the God-given place God has called them to go to. I thank you for coming. So I want to get started and I want to share my screen today. And I want to let you know I am so happy that you are here. My name is Felice Renee, as I said before. I am the author of Staying Glad, Smile, You Can Be Healed. I am also the host of the Peace and Living Today show, which was nominated Stellar Award 2013 to 2016. I also am the recipient of the I Change Nation Award, which was presented by Dr. Clyde Rivers. He is the U.S. Ambassador of Burundi, Africa. So I just wanted you to know that a little bit about me. I also want to share with you a little bit more about me. I want to share with you my motivator. And this is my husband. He motivates me to do better. He is my manager. He is my everything and everything next, after God, I thank God I call him my gift from God. I thank God that after 10 years of living a life of single after a devastating divorce, God sent me him because I had to wait on him. And, God had to make me and mold me to be what he needed me to be for him. So I encourage you, if you're single, to wait on God. He will give you what you need. I also want to share with you, these are my jewels. This is my oldest, my daughter and grandbaby. This is the addition to our family, her other daughter. And this is my oldest son. And this is my middle son. And this is my youngest son. I tell you, having a great family that encourages you and inspires you to want to do better makes life worth easy. See, a lot of times we don't have that, and that's okay. It's okay. But when you have it, it makes life a lot easier. And I want to show you on today that if you don't have that in your life, this number one secret is one of the number one secrets that helps you heal, that helps you learn to appreciate things in your life. It helps you to say, okay, this happened, but I can get over it. Okay. We're going to make it. We're going to make it. We're going to make it. That's one of my affirmations. And in this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to smile because you can be healed. See, people don't understand that the very little simple things in life go a long way. So because this is important, I want you to grab your pencil and I want you to grab your paper. And I want you to pay close attention because I want you to get all the valuable information that is life-changing. It's going to transform your life. See, you may be a person like I used to be. On the inside, I was screaming for help. Can somebody help me? But on the outside, I wore a fake smiley face. And for years, that thing weighed me down. See, as a kid, I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, and my mother used to allow me to sit in our big front window. And in front of that window, I would see all the different colored cars, that game we played. That's my car. Oh, I want that car. You dream about all these different cars, and I would see people walk up and down the streets coming from the grocery store with their bags or, the little grocery shopping cart. Or I look over to the other side. I would see young men playing basketball, trying to get their and one on, trying to be like Dr. J, So I saw that. And I even saw the barbecue place that was across the street from us. I tell you, they had some of the best barbecue beef sandwiches. Oh my goodness, they were mouth-watering. And I would sit in front of the window and I would see all these wonderful things that I just loved to see. But it was one particular thing that I hated to see, and it crushed me as a kid. I would see Miss Donna. Miss Donna was a light-skinned woman. My mama called her a mulatto. And she had pretty black, long, shoulder-length hair, wavy hair. And she was a beautiful woman. And she lived about maybe 3 or 4 doors to the left of our house. And she had a husband. And to me, he seemed like Godzilla because he was always mean. He was very dark, and they would always fight, and he would beat her from one end of the sidewalk to the next. And in front of the window, I would stand and I would be appalled, and I would say, Miss Donna, hit him back, run, scream. And sometimes she would call the police and they would come and she would take them back. And that baffled me as a kid. But 20 some years later, I became Miss Donna. Not to the point where I wouldn't hit back. I think I was in denial because I kept telling myself, how did I get here? This is not me. And I had some dark days because when you're a kid and people tease you and make fun of you, it causes you to choose the wrong people in your life. As a kid, I got called olive oil, big feet, big buck teeth, jagged teeth, skinny teeth. And people would pull my hair because it was so long. They would snatch it to see if it was real because, we had a little joke in our house. They would call me Little Shaka Khan because all the hair I had that would weigh on my shoulder. My little afro would rest on my shoulders. And, you know, that would make me feel good. But going to school, kids tease me all the time. And that thing hurt me to the core. And because I had jagged teeth, I would put my hand over my mouth and I wouldn't smile at all. I mean, I would smile, but because my teeth were jagged and I had buck teeth, buck tooth bunny, here she come. And that thing hurt me. So as I grew up, I had identity crisis and I couldn't smile because I couldn't see all the beauty that God had placed on the inside of me. But one day, I tell you, life got better for me. And I began to see who I was created to be. And I saw that I was fearfully and wonderfully made by God. And God gave me a strategy. See, I had goals in my life. But the one thing about goals is if you forget to set them, they don't work. But see, I want to show you this system today. This system was the start of my journey on learning how to smile because I'm healed. And I want to share this with you because I know some of you out there are going through the same thing I went through. You went through devastating. You went through heartache. You went through divorce. You may be going through that right now. And you could be a man. This is not just for women, but men go through things too, where they get discredited and get told that no one loves them and no one cares. So let's start today. Let's start with this presentation. Smile, you can be healed. The first thing you need to do is see. See all the beauty that's on the inside of you. See, we were made by a God that knew the exact skin color to put on us. He knew exactly how our ears and our mouth and our nose were to be shaped. And even though sometimes we walk in self-hate and we hate our nose and we hate our face because we listen to the opinions of others. But scientifically, they say we believe 80% of what we say more than anyone else. Did you know that we think 60 to 80,000 thoughts in our mind daily? And of those thoughts, 98 to 90% of them are wrong. They're reoccurring negative thoughts. We hold on to them, and what someone said about us, we see that more so. All the scars, all the bitterness. But I want to tell you to look beyond that. I want you to see yourself getting out of the hurt. See yourself getting out of the business, bitterness. It may have happened to you, but don't keep looking at it. See yourself being what God has called you to be. See yourself change. See, I think his name was Eli Manning, or I just know he was the quarterback for the Patriots. See, I'm a Dallas fan, so I'm not really wrapped up into the Patriots, but they had made the Super Bowl, and they was at halftime 0 to whatever the other score was. But what he did was he went in and he sat in the locker room and he began to see them winning that Super Bowl. Even the announcer said that team that came out of the locker room was totally different than what went in. See, we go through trials. Don't stay in them. When you go through, you've got to see your way out. Next, you have to put yourself in a mindset to be marvelous. You are marvelous, marvelous, marvelous. I want you to write that in your notes. I am marvelous. You may not feel it, but you are marvelous. See, some things are not about feelings. It's about knowing. See, our mindset says we are either good or we are either bad. It's either our fault or it's not. See, my favorite mentor, Napoleon Hill, says, whatever the mind can conceive to believe, it'll achieve it, whether we succeed or not. See, if I believe that I'm ugly, like I used to believe for over half of my life, I believed that I was ugly, I was dumb. I used to date real handsome men to make myself feel better about me because I didn't feel wonderful about myself. I didn't see myself as marvelous. I saw myself as an ugly woman. I saw myself as a big camel hump nose and jagged teeth. And even when I got the braces, brace face, foil tooth Felice, here come foil mouth, that thing hurt. And then when I got married in all my dreams, and you might be in a marriage right now where you have dreams and you say, well, you know what, I want to write a book. Someone tells you that's stupid, that's dumb. Or maybe you want to start a business and they go, who's going to come to your business? You don't have enough money. And all of those discouragements, maybe it's a parent that is faulting you for what another parent did. And you've been stuck in that. But I want you to see yourself having a mindset to be marvelous. Marvelous people focus on marvelous things. Wherever our mind goes, that's where our body will go. Wherever our mind flows, that's where our body goes. When our mind flows on the marvelous, we'll be marvelous. We have to understand we are marvelous because we're created to be above and not beneath. The next thing we have to do is be intentional and be intense about it. What does that mean? When children used to tease me, and when I used to go through the domestic violence, and then after the divorce, I kept saying I'm a failure. I failed my kids because in my family, divorce is prevalent. And I kept saying I'm a failure. And I was intense about being a failure. I would stay in the bed up under the covers. See, I had a good game going along. My kids would go to school and I'd smile and tell them, okay. And I'd get back in the bed and I would be depressed. And then I started having health issues and I started walking with a cane. And that just made life worse because I couldn't focus. Yes, I love God, but I could not focus on anything else. I was intentional about being focused on my pain, on my sorrow. But when I put this strategy in motion, I started being intense. I get up in the morning. They say the first 20 minutes of your morning sets your day. So get up in the morning saying, oh, I'm alive and well. I could have died today, but God graced me to get up with breath in my body. And I go to my bathroom, or I go to my office, and I take my cell phone and I start saying affirmations over myself. Today, I am filled with wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and revelation to overcome anything that comes my way. I have the peace of God in my mind. I have the joy of the Lord. I have strength today. And most of all, this is going to be the best day ever in my life. We have to be intense and intentional about setting our day. Because, see, we only have one day. The day that we live in today, we'll never see it again. And I want to make sure every day is intense and intentional to excel to my greatest level. What about you? Do you want to be intense and intentional? I know we can be intense and intentional about trying to get promotions, about trying to get that sale, you know it. On Black Friday, be intense. We stand in the lines, or we're on the we're on Amazon trying to make sure everything goes right, and we're getting those discounts because we're intense and intentional and intense about getting those sales. Well, what about being intentional, intense, not to discount the blessings that we have in our life? So next we got to let go, and leave those things behind. How do we leave it? How do we let it go? We have to open up our mouth and make affirmation. Every day I make affirmations about letting things go. See, once we let it go, it tries to come back. I had some dark days as a kid. Like I said, people used to bully me. They used to tease me. And sometimes I would run home. You know, that scene where you see Ferris Bueller running home, jumping through the yards. I had to run home because there was a girl that was bigger than me. Like I said, I was skinny mini. I was olive oil. And I knew what types, some things you just know you don't want to get beat up on, okay? And there's nothing wrong with running as long as you live to see another day. So what I did, those things come back to me. And they'll tell me, okay, you can't do the business. You can't be here. You're not worthy to be in that place. See, had I listened to all those voices, I would not be here in the Power Up Summit. See, those things are going to come to our head, but we have to let them go. We have to let go of some people. Now, that person you may be married to, and maybe you don't want to leave them, and maybe they're saying negative things, but you can't let that penetrate your mind because you have a mindset to be marvelous, and you are intense and intentional. And if this is helping you, I want to let you know that I want to help you, and I want you to write this in your little notes saying, listen, I got to let it go and I got to leave it. Write that in your notes. Let it go and leave it. Because when you let it go and you leave it, you begin to become a better person. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with you now, but those emotions that latch on to us and they suck all the joy in us, and that causes us to stay in it. But when you let it go, you rise to the best person you are. You rise to the call that God has called you. And I'm not saying you're a preacher. You might be called just to smile. You might be called to be the best mother. You might be the person that gets on Facebook and just sends inspirations to people in their comments. But when you let that stuff go, you can do it in a level of peace. Yes, tragic things happen to us. Divorce, abandonment. Maybe your mom might have left you. Maybe your dad left you. Maybe you have sickness in your body. But the mindset that we have to see ourselves as marvelous. And we have to leave that past behind us and not look to it. And the only time we look to it is to tell somebody, I overcame it, and I let it go. Because when you let it go and leave, you can move into the extraordinary. See, when you're extraordinary, you stand out amongst the crowd. And I'm not saying being arrogant, but see, who wants to just be ordinary? See, my mother used to tell me all the time, especially when it came to my homework, you can do this. And I'm going to say, Mom, it's too hard. And she was telling me anything that's worth having, you've got to put in some work to it. I used to always try to get the extra credit at school because I figured if I didn't study hard for the test, I had something to fall back on. But see, that was not really being extraordinary. That was being a way of, being a little bit lazy. That way I have to study it hard. But being extraordinary, we know things are going to happen to us. So we have to take off those old garments. See, what would I look like wearing rags and clothes of 1920 and 1930? That thing is old. That thing is so old. But when you're extraordinary, you put on a mindset. See, some people are stuck back in a time zone. They're stuck in 1970. They're stuck in what happened to it in 1980 and 1990 and 2000. That's like wearing old clothes that's out of shape and outdated. But when you're extraordinary, you put on a mindset to say, what happened yesterday, and I'm not dwelling in it. Anybody can dwell in the past. But it takes an extraordinary man to fight. It takes an extraordinary mind to fight those things and say that my mind is full of wisdom. My mind will not dwell on the past. My mind is focused because I am going to succeed today. Success does not always mean money. Success means I overcame those negative thoughts that keep me playing over in my mind like a bad commercial. Have you ever watched a TV show and you watched the commercial so much you forgot what you were watching? That's what happens in our mind. All these bad commercials keeps coming and we forget. We forget that we are extraordinary people because we were created by extraordinary God. He has called us to walk in high places. High places does not mean arrogant. That means I know who I am. I am confident in things that I can do. When I need help, I'm going to ask for help because I'm not going to be ashamed. Being ashamed to ask for help is ordinary because most people don't ask for help. But extraordinary people say, I know my limitations and I'm going to get some help. And that's what I'm here for today, to help you. I'm here to help you smile because you can be healed. I'm here to help you to see that there's greatness on the inside of you. I'm here to let you see that you are fearfully and wonderfully made because you have a mindset to be marvelous. And when you have a mindset to be marvelous, you become unstoppable. Do you notice how some kids can grow up in the same environment? One becomes successful and the other one just focuses on the negative? Or two people can go to church and hear the same word. One sees the negative, the other sees the positive. Two people can be on the same job and one person, all they see is the bad things on the job and the other one excels. Like I said, anybody can focus on the negative, but it takes an extraordinary person to focus only on that tunnel vision, to say, this is all I see and I'm going forward. You going forward today? If you are going forward today, I want to help you make that choice today. I want you to make a choice today because they say most people, when they come to these dynamic summits, 98% of them remain the same. That means only 2% change. That's statistics, that's data. That's because we get that adrenaline rush, that serotonin. See, serotonin, dopamine, and endorphins release in our head and they cause us to smile. See, when you start smiling, you start feeling good. And those chemicals help you reduce your stress and help you sleep at night. And they also help as painkillers. So that's why when we're in these summits, we can feel so good. But what happens when it's over? What happens when you turn your camera off? So you may be a millionaire on stage or making minimum wage and still need to be healed. Because when that hurt comes knocking at your door and it sits in your living room and that hurt takes you to the kitchen and then it gets in the bed with you and all you can dream about is the past, you need someone to help you. I want you to make a choice today. I want you to make a choice to say, Felice, I'm taking this step so I can smile and be healed. So if that's you, I want you to know it's time for you to be free. It's time for you to smile and be healed. I want you to go to my Linktree. I want you to click on a Hey Girl Smile link. It is a part of Smile University. Smile University was created for sisters Sisters making intense leaps of exponential growth. I don't want anyone, and this was my promise to God. My passion is to educate, equip, and empower women. If the men want to sign up, that's fine too. But to equip you to move through your hurt a lot faster. See, I stayed in my hurt for 20 years, 30 years. Up and down roller coaster ride. I want you to have smooth sailing. Yes, it's going to be a process, but only the extraordinary people are going to get there. Only the extraordinary people are going to excel. There's some free gifts there. There's a free gift there, a checklist for recognizing toxic thoughts. Because I want you to smile and be healed and be free of those things. There's some free videos there, so you can know how to move out of fear and into faith and be the best version of you. But when you go to this link, you're going to get access to all of the summits, Live and Let Go, Trauma to Treasure. You're going to get all those things free. And for this summit and this summit only, I want you to go to that website, Smile, You Can Be Healed, because I'm going to give an extraordinary discount for those extraordinary people that want to sign up. I'm going to give you a 30-minute coaching session with me, consulting. We're going to sit down and talk. Because sometimes that's the first thing, to sit down and talk so we can get through some of these things. And then we're going to have some plans. Each person has a different place in their life where they're at. I want you to go to Amazon.com and I want you to purchase that book, Smile, You Can Be Healed, because that is my non-confrontation invitation for you to start your healing. That's also on the link as well. My credentials. Somebody said, well, how can I believe you? Will it work? Yes, absolutely, it will work. I've been ministering to people for over 30 some odd years, telling them how to smile and get healed. On that link, you're going to find some testimonials that people that have worked with me. Some of them want to share and some of them don't. But I want to let you know, I honestly and genuinely care about you. In this summit, we're here to help you power up. But I want to let you know that this is the first step for you. Yes, you may have tried everything. Will this work? It will. I'm a living testimony that when you have somebody to help you, even Bill Gates says, everybody needs a coach. Everybody needs some help. He's a billionaire and he still gets help from other people. So if he can get help, if he can have somebody walk him through the things he needs to walk through, what about you? You've been in this too long. You've been doing it the hard way. You've been doing things the hard way and it has not changed. And you can still stay the way you want to be, and that's your choice. But if you're ready to walk into the extraordinary, I want you to join that journey with me. Go to this link, and I want you to grab that discount. For this summit and this summit only, the Hey Girl Smile program is going to be $399. And yes, there is a payment plan, but it might be a couple of bucks more. But for $399, you can go on a 7-week journey with me, and we're going to show you how to smile and be healed. And I pray that this presentation has blessed you, because you are worth it. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, and you are important. You are important and you are extraordinary. So I will see you, and I thank you so much for this opportunity for me to share with you. I want you to reach out to me on all my social media platforms. Go to the link and you'll see all of my social platforms. And I want you to join the free group called Peace and Living Inner Circle. That's where we talk about these matters on a deeper level. Peace and Living Inner Circle Facebook group. I'll see you there. And thank you for your time. God bless you. God bless you. Like I said, don't allow anything to distract you this week. Watch all these dynamic speakers and take heart to what they're saying so you can smile and be healed. Again, I am Happiness Reborn. My name is Felice Renee. You have a wonderful, wonderful life. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.